All right. Hi, everyone. Welcome to tonight's presentation. My name's Dee. I am one of the trainers at RSPCA School for Dogs. And tonight we're going on a treasure hunt with your dog. So we just thought we'd do this webinar on a different way of doing enrichment with your dog that isn't always, the standard way of using your Kongs and training. We thought we'd do a little treasure hunt because using your dog sniffer is the best thing ever. All right, so what we will be doing is taking your dog on a treasure hunt. So let me get on to the next little bit. Excellent. So what's all of this about? So going on a treasure hunt, of course, it's all about getting your dogs using their sniffer, so using their little nose, which is pretty incredible, to be honest. It has a lot of sensors there. I believe it's about 100,000 times better than ours. So it is definitely something that we want to activate. And why should we do this particular treasure hunt with our dogs? Well, for fun, of course. So it's really good to get your dog's nose working. It really builds a relationship between us and our dog. I mean, when you think about it, we all have family dinner catch ups and we have, catch up with our friends, and it's usually over food. So, what better way to build up a relationship with your dog than through food? So, if you've just recently adopted a dog or a puppy, an adult dog or a puppy, or you've recently started fostering a dog. Now, I just want to quickly interject here and say that this particular game isn't only for dogs, but you can actually do it with cats as well. Rats are really clever, so they'd love a game like this where they have to use their little noses to find some food. So you can play with a variety of different species, maybe even your kids if you're keen. So relationship building is one. What about confidence building? So this game is all about getting your dog using their nose to find things. So that's what a treasure hunt is all about. So what about confidence building? You know, your dog finds something, woohoo, how awesome are they? Sorry, I don't know why this is automatically changing. So yeah, confidence building, another way of boosting your dog's, morale and getting them really enthusiastic with playing a game with you. But it's really good for confidence building in timid dogs and dogs that are maybe a little bit fearful as well. So telling them they can really do something if they just put their nose to it. And another great reason we want to do this is to keep them busy. So through mental and physical enrichment. So with this particular exercise, they'll be using their little bodies to get them around to find those treats. And they'll be using their brain as well to really find with their nose where the next treat it will be. And then our most favorite motto is a tired dog is a happy dog. So, we all know this. When our dog has a lot of energy, they get up to all sorts of mischief, right? We start calling them naughty and we start labeling them. But meanwhile, all they're doing is just making their own fun. They are just bored, all right? But we know that when our dog is tired and they're finally napping next to us, we look down at them and we're like, oh, God, I love you. So let's get more dogs napping, being tired, and you're getting those loving, feel-good endorphins rushing through you as well. So with this particular one, let's talk about some benefits of this game. So it's a fun way to give your dog more mental stimulation. So you may already be ditching the bowl. Let's hope that you are. So you might be not bowl feeding your dogs or cats or rats, and you might be feeding them through items like the Kong. So maybe you're stuffing a Kong with their daily food portion or some yummy treats. Or maybe you are, getting those licky mats out, or you're training them with their daily portions just to get that mental stimulation up. But with this particular exercise, it's again really good for that extra physical stimulation, extra mental stimulation, all in one. That's the best thing about it. It's all in one. They're going to be moving around. They're going to be using that brain. We all know how tired we get. when we are on the computer, we're writing and responding to emails, or we're writing assignments. We just want to have the biggest nap afterwards. I know it from me personally firsthand. But when I come home from a run or going to the gym, I'm usually pumping with endorphins and I want to clean my whole apartment. And the same thing with the dog. We've seen, you take them out for a big walk and then you bring your dog home and they're doing the zoomies on your couch and you're wondering, how? What happened? That's because you exercised one part of their body, and that's just their physical exercise. Maybe their mental stimulation wasn't up there at all. So this is the one benefit, getting them tied in more than one way. And confidence building. So I already spoke about this before, but dogs see the world pretty much with their nose. They say that dogs see the world in 3D, just like we do with our eyes. We can say, create things in a 3D form. Well, dogs also use their nose to pick up information. I mean, look, when you think about it, dogs sniff each other's butts and we're all wonder, well, why are they doing that? I like to call it the doggy handshake equivalent. So dogs have lots of data that comes out of their little backsides. So they say that their anal glands are pretty much their identification. Okay, so everybody's dog has those anal glands, and that is that dog's personal information with what breed are they, what sex are they, and when they do that little doggy handshake, they are discovering that dog and seeing what they're all about. And sometimes you'll find that dogs on a walk also, they love to use their nose. There's those dogs that just want to walk, that's just all they want to do, and potentially maybe because they were bred for that. But then there's those dogs that just want to sniff the ground constantly. And these are the clients that constantly come up to me and they're like, how do I stop my dog from sniffing? And I actually just say, leave it. It's a really, really good thing. They're doing their little doggy Facebook scrolling equivalent. They're picking up data. You'll find they'll sniff those poles or any sort of leftover droppings on the ground, and they're really getting close. They're picking up that information. So this is all about your dog picking up information and seeing the world through a different lens, and that's their little nose. So this little game also, boosts their enthusiasm and their confidence, and it's really, really good. We've seen lots of dogs be transformed through workshops like Noseworks, but those sort of workshops where dogs are pretty much being the sniffer dogs, right? They're finding different scents and different foods and stuff. So we've seen fearful and timid dogs literally transform from a trembling little puppy to a confident, exuberant dog that just knows what they're doing. So love this game. Cannot rate it anymore. This gives your dog a job to do, okay? So look, a lot of the time, I've got people coming up to me saying, my Jack Russell just never switches off. My Kelpie is just constantly running around. My Bull Arab Cross loves wildlife and will chase them to no end. And I always turn around and go, well, dogs were usually bred for a purpose. There's these dogs that they're bred for a purpose, and we know this, yet we adopt them and we confine them and we put them in our backyards. And then we're wondering, oh, well, why are they chewing up our couch? And aircon wiring is a very recent one that a lot of people are having issues with. They leave their dog in the backyard and the dog gets to the aircon wiring. I don't understand. But anyway, this exercise gives them a job to do. So a lot of us are also going back to work with the COVID. We find a lot of people have been getting puppies or adopting dogs, and they've been home with them for 3 weeks. And yet then it's time to go back to work and we need to leave our dog, and the only source of entertainment was us. So what, we should really be giving them a job. So why not set up this treasure hunt for them so that their time is occupied throughout the day while you're away? Yeah, so if they are in a backyard, they now have a treasure hunt where they find and search, and they get to eat those treats and rip them up and chew them. I'll explain in different ways that you can do this little game. So give them that job to do. Employ your dog, okay? employ them and pay them through their food portion. Don't give them a free feed. Awesome. Awesome. So, and it's an easy way to bond with your dog as well. Maybe not that spelling, I'm sorry about that. Bond with your dog. So I already mentioned before, a lot of us have recently adopted puppies. And when you think about it, you've adopted these puppies or a puppy, and you've brought them home with you. You've just taken them away from their litter mates, everything that they've ever known, right? And you expect them to just fit in. Well, it just doesn't happen that way, unfortunately. They are still, you know, a little personality of their own. So we need to bond with them. And like I mentioned before, what better way than food? Okay. I know food definitely has bonded me with lots of different animals, and being a trainer, I'm constantly meeting new animals. So what better way than to give them a few treats, tell them I'm really, really good, and then hopefully they come back to me. But yeah, bond with them through this food game, or any sort of food games that you may be doing at home is really, really good. So tell them that you are the source of all things good. And also withholding this food and using it through training, you know, you start building up on that communication, which is really important with our dogs. Cool. And noseworks is fun and rewarding for dogs. Like, think of it this way. I know when I go op shopping, okay, I find an amazing pair of vintage jeans that are just so super awesome. You know, I've been shopping all day and finally I come across this pair, and I feel really great about this find. You know, I'm going to wear them, you know, a night out coming up, and that makes me feel really good. It's the same thing with our puppies when they're using their nose. They've got that job, they're running around, they're really using that sniffer to find those treats. They finally locate them, they get to eat them and rip them up, and then they may be on to the next one. So it's really fun, rewarding. Again, confidence building. How much confidence building goes into finding something that you've been looking for, you know? And for these dogs, it'll be their food or some sort of amazing treat item that you found. And that you've prepared for them. So fun and rewarding is definitely what we're all about. All right. So let's get down to the nitty gritty. So what we will need for our treasure hunt is, I like to use toilet rolls to start off with, just because everybody has them. I mean, it's COVID. A lot of people have been hoarding them. So I'm sure you can find about 10 empty toilet rolls around your house. I know that I actually asked my family and friends to save their toilet rolls for me, because they are such a great and cheap and easy item to use with dogs to give them something else to do. So we'll need some empty toilet rolls, please. If you would like to get creative with maybe decorating those toilet rolls, you're more than welcome to. This is a great little game for kids that are currently on holidays as well. So please don't go that way. Thank you. So this is a great little game for kids, getting them to decorate these toilet rolls. You know, you'll see in the next slide, I actually created mine to be Easter ones, so you can get them to create them during the holidays, and maybe you can give them a theme. So it was just the Easter holidays. Maybe you can, their next theme can be something like Star Wars, or something something that they've been recently really into. So get them to decorate them, gives them something to do. And then we'll need some paper towel as well, or tissue, and some high value treats. So I really recommend the Golden Bone Bakery mackerel munchies. Are really, really good. They're really nice and smelly, and dogs work hard for them. Their lamb crunchies are great as well, and they've got a whole variety. All right, so what we're going to do is we are going to collect those toilet rolls, and we're going to pinch the ends. So you can see here, I've pinched the ends. One end is still open. Pinch those other ones, fold them down really, really well so that they stay, and prepare them all. The next bit is to decorate those rolls. Look how cool they are. So these are my Easter ones that I did. You know, I even did a special one for the cats and for the dog. It's our seek and find game. So they've all been pinched. They have all been decorated with some non-toxic paint. And please make sure that you're not using any sort of, if you are using arts and crafts, make sure they are still safe for the dog, and they're not, and they are, you know, that they will not choke on them. So do that. Then the next thing is to prepare your dog's treats. So here what I have done is I've got a variety of 4 treats up in that left corner. There is my dog's daily food portion in that first top right hand little pile of bickies. On the left is some Prime 100 roll that I've gotten from World for Pets, which is absolutely amazing, and I've been using it for training treats lately. Out of a whole roll, I can get a six weeks worth of treats. They're absolutely amazing, and they are a single protein dog roll, which means it won't upset your puppy's belly if they do have, sensitivities to other proteins. Excuse me. We are also using some lamb puff there or lamb crunchies from Golden Bone, and I've also used some chicken sticks, which I believe is the High brand, because my puppy absolutely loves that. So you're going to prepare those treats, maybe even making a little smorgasbord of it. You will then mix those treats up and place them in a tissue or paper towel, pop them in your hand. So just like I've done there, you can do maybe like half a handful or so, and then you'll scrunch that up and you'll place that into the toilet roll that you pinched one end. So stuff that in gently, get it right in there, and you can even pinch the other ends of that toilet roll. But I would actually leave it open for the minute because we want our dog to smell the tissue and the treats that are in that tissue. So leave that one end open. Awesome. Now the next thing is to hide it. So time to hide those treats. So if you've done 10, that's great. Good job. If you've done more, good on you. Absolutely amazing. So the next step is to actually hide these treats. So first off, I did a hide and seek inside. So if you are doing a hide and seek inside, I want you to put your dog away. Of course, there's no point of them following you around as you're trying to hide the treats. So pop your dog away, and I want you to just pick one room, okay? So if you're doing it in the living room, you're doing it in the living room. If you're going to do it in, if you've got a rumpus room or some sort of this doesn't want to play with me tonight, I really apologize. Pick one room of your house, okay? So that way you're starting off nice and small. There's going to be abundance of treats, and it's really going to set your dog up for success. It's going to make it nice and easy to start off with. If it's too hard, your puppy starts to get frustrated, okay? If it's too hard, they'll get frustrated and they'll probably just walk away. So we want to make it fun. So inside, one room, and in that one room, hide those 10 treats. So the way that you'll hide them is on the ground, just like I've done there. Actually, let me just go back 2 seconds. So either on the ground or no higher than your dog's chest, okay? Any higher than your dog's chest or above their nose is just going to be a bit too hard to start off with. However, if your dog has been doing some search and finds and nose works and that sort of stuff, you are welcome to make it a little bit harder for them. And we'll talk about that next, a little bit later. All right, cool. So here's how I have hidden some treats outside. I'll just pause that for 2 seconds. If you are doing a search and find outside, it will be the same rules as inside. So the rules are: make it nice and easy. Make it nice and easy. Ground level, no higher than your dog's chest. And only pick one area of your backyard. So this is very annoying. So here's what we're going to do with the outside stuff. So I've just hidden it in a little garden right there. And I've also hidden in some pot plants. So just at my dog's chest level. And we'll see how they go. All right, so the next thing is to release the hounds. All right, so the next thing that we're going to do is let our dogs out of the room, or if you are doing it outside, obviously bring them outside. And what I actually want you to do is to stand close to where you've hidden the treat. So with this one here, you can see I'm sort of standing about 1 meter away from where the treat is hidden. I've made it quite easy for this Poocho. This is Morris. I've made it quite easy for him. So he literally found it straight away, and I collected that one, and we actually went on to find the next one. So this was more of like an Easter egg hunt, I guess, for Morris. So we collected 10 of them, and then we gave them all to him at the end. So that one there he found. So stand quite close to the treat. You can even say something like find it, and see what your dog does if they start sniffing around or looking around. If they look at you and start to walk away, I would actually maybe crouch down and get a bit closer to your treat, and you can say find it again. And hopefully by then they sort of get the idea of, oh, there's something interesting in this area. Maybe I should inspect, and hopefully they start to sort of look around, and they start to use their nose as well. So here's Morris finding it. Oh, it's a leaf on the ground. Yep. Good job. Yay. So Morris got that one. And if your dog is getting closer to the treat, then that's really, really good. Just encourage them to find it themselves. And then you can, sort of take it away from them, collect it, and move on to the next one. So I'll just play that again because he's very cute. So he's come up to it. Okay, maybe not. So he comes up to it, gives it a little sniffer. He's like, what in the world? And then he goes, hang on, that is actually treats. So he absolutely loved that little game. He was really, 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 really cute. Inspecting it again. He's like, that was food, right? Yeah, it sure was, buddy. Good job. And then here's Morris finding them inside. So again, I just hit it really, really, I made it really easy for him. Yay. So watch that problem solving. He's used his paw, he then dragged it out. So all these problem solving skills are really important to your dog. It really sets them up for success in life. And this is where that mental stimulation comes from. It's that using your brain, that problem solving, and then getting a reward out of it in the end. Like it pays off. So if you are hiding your toilet rolls outside, take your dog, you can take them on a lead or you can take them off lead, completely up to you, depending on how engaged your dog is. But here I have Bootsy, and he's actually on lead in this video, and he's going to try and find them. Find it. So giving that verbal cue, he sort of goes, there's something funny going on here. What the heck? Oh, plant in the way. Good boy. Good job. So he found that little treat. He picked it up. I then took that, put it in my basket, and we were off to do the next one. Find it. So in this little video, you can see he got a little bit confused. Maybe we were a bit too far away. So I just waited for him. To sort of reorientate and give me that cue that he doesn't really know what's going on. So I stepped a bit closer, said find it again, and he's like, oh yeah, cool, all right, something going on around here. Oh, those plants will forever get in the way. And look at those problem-solving skills. Again, using his paw to dig it out. But, in the end, getting that reward again. And he absolutely loved this. So he collected about 10, and then we went back home and he got to have them all on his bed and he got to rip them up. So that's it. So when you find them all, give them to them on their bed and watch them rip it up. Okay, so they can rip it up. They can, chew on that cardboard. I just always ask that you please monitor your dog when you first do this game to see how your dog is interacting with the toys. So if they are swallowing the cardboard, then I have other suggestions just a little bit later on. But if they're just ripping it up and sort of spitting it out, that's perfect. So here's Morris making a bit of a mess on his bed, but it's better than chewing up my rug or my carpet or, my lounge, that sort of thing. So again, this is another part of the mental stimulation. He's now figuring out, how do I get these treats out? More problem solving, okay? It's not just the search and find. it's also this part. This part is very important. How do I get those treats out? You know, the tissue paper's in the way. Oh, let's watch him again. He's very cute. Tissue paper's in the way. There's this toilet roll situation going on. So he's got to learn to rip that up and get the last treat out. So cute. So for Morris, this took him quite a while. It took him about half an hour. It was about half an hour for us to hide those treats, our toilet rolls, and it was, and also for him to finish it all. So half an hour is pretty good. That was only in a small inside room. So if we had made that a little bit harder, such as expanding it throughout the house, then that would have actually taken him a lot longer as well. So here's Bootsy ripping his up as well, getting through to the tissue paper. He's pretty good at this one. You can see that they also spill onto the bed, which means then he's got to do a little bit of extra snuffling and picking up those treats. So such a good little papa. So he's pretty well versed with working with toilet rolls. So he's a bit of a pro, but he's, yeah, managed to get through to it. Good job. All right, so excellent. So that was the easy version. The next version from that is to make it a little bit harder. So what you can actually do is you can freeze the contents that are in the toilet roll. This actually takes away some of that smell, you know, as opposed to being fresh meat and fresh treats. You freeze and it takes away some of that smell, which means your dog has to use their nose a little bit harder. All right, so they've got to really turn it on, and they've really got to activate that brain, to activate that sniffer to find that treat. If you do not want to use toilet rolls because your dog is prone to chewing and maybe even swallowing things, I would actually then use enrichment toys such as the Kong. So you can see that blue Kong there that I'm holding, and you can put your food in there. So I only ever feed my dog through enrichment items, either through a treasure game or treasure hunt game, or just giving him a well-packed Kong, or even just some toilet rolls for him to chew up. So you can use enrichment items, so maybe hide them instead of the toilet rolls. That will make it a lot harder for your puppy, and it will make it last longer as well. So puzzle feeders are great as well. You know, any of those puzzles that sort of move and move around, like the Kong wobbler. So you can hide the Kong wobbler, and you can hide a couple of extra Kongs. So once they've mastered the game, you can make the game harder by creating harder spots. So we were doing floor level and about chest level. So now you can make it harder by having those hidden toys or hidden treat filled toys a little bit higher. So a bit higher, where they have to sort of really sniff up and maybe even jump up onto things to find those treats. You can have the treasure hunt in different environments. So if you've only been doing it inside, it might be time to progress to outside, or maybe a room that's got a little bit of extra obstacles, you know, like the rumpus room or something. And you can also play this game in the park. So if you have a long line, you know, like a 10, 15 meter piece of rope or a long line, you can attach your dog to that. And hide those treats, maybe have a helper with you so they can take the dog for a walk while you do the hiding, and then come back and get them to find those treasure, you know, those treasures. So if you're having a picnic, a lot of the time we find dogs are, you know, expected to just sit quietly and nicely next to us. It's not always the case. Why don't you give them something else to do, okay? Why don't you set up a treasure hunt for them and have them on that long line where they can be off doing their little things and not barking at every dog that, you know, that goes by. And if you've done this, can you please tag us on Instagram or Facebook? We would love to see how you're progressing through this. Obviously, the easy level is fine. They'll get through that pretty quick because I know your puppas are very clever, but the harder and more difficult it gets, I'd love to see how you guys are going. Any level, love to see how you're going. You can also use long-lasting chews, so like the goat horn or the beef trachea. The reason I suggested these two is because you can stuff them. So you can actually, you don't have to use tissue paper, but you can if you like. So you can stuff them with treats, and then your dog gets to, you know, eat the inside and then also eat the outside, because the whole thing is edible. And if you want to make it harder, you can freeze the whole thing as well. And this puzzle toy, the Busy Buddy, I really, really like this one. The dog actually can unscrew the whole thing themselves. So you can put some dry bickies in there, you can put some wet food, some peanut butter, and you can hide it just like that, or you can freeze it again and hide it frozen so it's a little bit harder. So it's all about you guys getting really imaginative with this. I absolutely love this game, and I hope that you have learned something new tonight. Sometimes, you know, we sort of run out of these ideas when it comes to feeding our dog, or, you know, entertaining them, or, you know, busting that boredom. So this is another way that you can do it. And to save you a little bit of time, I usually prepare everything the night before, or I do like a doggy prep day where I just prepare all my toilet rolls and long-lasting items. I freeze them all, and then that way I just take out 4, 5, 6 of those enrichment items, and I, you know, I give them to my dog. So he gets to have a little treasure hunt almost every day. So this is some of our cute little graduates. Look at them. They're absolutely adorable. And I really want to thank you guys for joining me tonight. I hope you have learned something new. We do actually do one-on-one training sessions, and there are discounts for returning clients. So if you actually want help with mastering the treasure hunt, let us know, because we can set up some cardboard fortresses for your dog and get them to really build on their confidence that way. Great game, like I said, for fearful, timid dogs. It really boosts their confidence. And we do obviously one-on-one training for any other troubles that you may be having. So just send us an email and head to our website. So that is all that I had to chat to you tonight about. There's a couple of questions here. Can you do a hunt with more than one dog? So I'll just answer a couple of questions and then we'll finish it there. So yeah, you definitely can do a hunt with more than one dog. My suggestion would be to split them up, however. So this may involve a little bit of monitoring from you. So maybe have one dog in the backyard and one dog in the house, or a particular room of the house. Or if you have a big enough yard, lucky you, maybe have 2 people and both of those dogs will be on lead with that person, and maybe have one dog working in one end of the yard and another dog working in the other end of the yard. The reason I suggest the split is because we really want to make sure that our dog is not, either one of those dogs is uncomfortable and starts resource guarding, you know, where they start guarding their food and growling a little bit to really say back off. So we want to make sure that every dog is comfortable. And we also want to make sure that each dog gets their treats, okay? Really want to make sure that they both get those 10 toilet rolls or however many you've allocated. And if you are using this as their daily food portion, you want to make sure that they are getting that daily food portion in a nice, safe and happy way. Cool. I'll hang around for another couple of minutes. Thank you, Kirsty. I'll hang around for another couple of minutes. If you have any questions, shoot them through and I'll answer them. But otherwise, thank you so much for joining. It has been a pleasure, and I believe that this will be recorded and uploaded to one of our platforms. So thank you very much. Have a good night.